Hi everyone, well welcome to this week's newsletter where I'm focusing on heart health. It is such an important topic for women as they come through menopause and certainly into their post-menopause years. I'm Dr Wendy Sweet from My Menopause Transformation. Thank you for being here on my newsletter. And I'm holding up a block of cheese. Now this is just an organic cheese that I buy here in New Zealand, but I want to reassure women that having foods like cheese are so important for their heart health. And the reason I say that is because even if I just have 100 grams of this cheese, it's giving me over 700 milligrams of calcium. And we tend to forget about calcium, or we have it in supplements which aren't so good for the heart and the blood vessels. But what we want to do is we want to have it in real food as well. So I have a little bit of cheese, not every day, but I certainly have a little bit of low-fat yogurt or yogurt, and I try and get foods that are going to give me at least 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day. Now, calcium is absolutely crucial for the heart. It's important for the heart muscle, for the nerves that are inside that heart muscle, for the traveling of the electrical signal. So it's really important that we get that 1,200 milligrams of calcium, particularly if you're doing a lot of exercise. If you're finding that you've got, that you're not sleeping, that you've got restless leg syndrome, that your blood pressure has gone up, then I want you to really focus on your calcium. And that's my main message as part of Heart Health Week. And in Australia, it is Heart Health Week, even though I'm in New Zealand. New Zealand celebrated at a little different time, but it's just another reminder for those of us in our older years. I'm over 60 now, but in our years that are going through from our late 40s into our 50s and into our 60s, that it's a time of life to start to change how we look after ourselves. And I follow the lifestyle evidence. I don't listen to all these other opinions, but I follow the lifestyle evidence. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about is that women understand the menopause and post-menopause transition is a really vulnerable time for our heart and our blood pressure, our blood vessel health. So it's an important time to get on top of the nutrients that you need, to get your blood pressure checked, to make sure that you are looking after your heart. And I don't just mean with exercise and nutrition, but also with your stress management. Stress management is one of the key things that you can be doing to look after your heart, and so is your sleep. The heart works on a 24-hour circadian cycle, and it's really important that we get our sleep. So if you're not sleeping, get on board with me and I'll help you to sort that out as you come through your menopause and into your post-menopause years. It's really important for a lot of our organs and tissues to be able to reset our circadian rhythm and get that sleep back. Some women find that their blood pressure goes up, their cholesterol levels go up, and this is all because menopause is the time of life where we're stepping into our post-menopause years and we're aging. So there are changes to organs and tissues around the body, including our blood vessels. The blood vessels are one of the most important structures that are changing as you come through menopause, whether you are on HRT or not. We start to lose some elasticity of those blood vessels. And this is why some of you might find that you're retaining more fluid, or that your blood pressure has gone up, or you're just feeling a bit more stressed with increased anxiety. But the good news is that there are certain things that we can be doing. And some of those things are to do with our food. And certainly different types of food are really important. You've heard me talk about beetroot before. This is just some juicing that I do. There's some apple in there and some also some celery, but definitely beetroot. It has compounds that help to dilate the blood vessels. So too does celery. And if we can get some celery into our diet, when we crunch and munch that celery, the saliva starts to release nitric oxide, which helps to then dilate the blood vessels. So those things are really important. The other thing that we can do for our heart health is to have some grapes. The redder the grapes, the better, or purple grapes, because they've got compounds, again, that give you resveratrol. Now, you might decide to take resveratrol in a supplement. That's okay. I tend to get women on supplements that are evidence to help their aging, particularly as they go into beyond menopause, the years after menopause. My new Beyond Menopause program is on sale throughout May. The promo code is BEYOND. Get on board if your health has been changing. And then, of course, what we want to do is we want to have citrus in our life. And if we can keep our levels of citrus up, then it really helps. It's not just about the vitamin C, but also there's compounds in here that actually help with the heart muscle. And we must remember that it's a muscle, so it's doing a lot of work. 24 hours a day, our heart is beating. We've got lots and lots of nerves in there. We've got lots of blood vessels in there, and we need to look after our heart. And this is why I do tell women to be very cautious about doing heavy exercise when they come through menopause. I know there's a lot of emphasis on heavy weight training, but if you're not sleeping, you need to look after your heart. Otherwise, your blood pressure may just continue to increase. We need to look after our stress, and we need to also manage our weight. Being overweight or obese can also put a lot of pressure on the heart and the blood vessels, which can make your circulation worse. It can send you into other changes that that may facilitate heart disease in your post-menopause years. And heart disease is the number one health issue for women as they come through menopause and into post-menopause. So we really do need a focus on our heart health. And one of the main nutrients that you can have is lycopene. And I've got a couple of tomatoes here. They're still on my tomato plant, even though it's May. And the seasons are changing, obviously, that I'm still getting tomatoes in May. But these have lycopene in them. And lycopene is evidence to help with our heart, help with our blood vessels. And what we want to do is we want to maintain the levels of lycopene throughout the course of the day and throughout the course of the week. So we need a little bit of lycopene-rich foods every single day to maintain the benefits for our heart and our blood vessels. So you can have tomatoes. If you're allergic to tomatoes, then cook them, put them in a stew. You can have canned tomatoes, just don't get any with sugar added. Tomato paste is very high in lycopene. Just don't, have too much tomato sauce, because that's got sugar. And of course, sugar is detrimental to our heart health. I'm Dr. Wendy Sweet from My Menopause Transformation. I've followed the evidence for 10 years now about how to look after ourselves as we come through the menopause and post-menopause transition. We've all seen the way our mother's generation has been aging, and the great news is that we can do something about it. The evidence is now there for women in their 50s, 60s, and even in their 70s. So jump on the My Menopause Transformation website if you haven't done that. If you haven't listened to my masterclass, then please have a listen to that. It's in 2 parts. You can listen as a podcast, you can watch it on your computer, and it gives you a lot of information about the changes that are going on around the body. I have practitioners from around the world who come and join me on my practitioner training. So if you're a practitioner, then jump on the website, look under the practitioner link, and have a wee look at some of the courses that I have for you. If you are a woman who wants to feel better, it doesn't matter if you're on HRT or supplements. I don't care about that. What I care about is that you understand the lifestyle changes, the nutrition, how to sleep, how to turn around your joint health and your muscle aches so that you can do some exercise as you get older, how to reduce your blood pressure, how to reduce your hot flushes or hot flashes based on the evidence for lifestyle. So come on board with me, get on the website. Thank you for being here in my newsletter community. And I just want you to be aware that it is Heart Health Week in Australia at the moment, and there's so much that we can be doing to look after this precious organ, which needs to get us through, so many years ahead. My new Beyond Menopause program is also on the website. If you do come and join me on that, use the promo code BEYOND. And if you are someone who is doing a lot of exercise, then make sure that you are looking after your heart and your blood vessels. So get those beautiful compounds into you, get the lycopene into you, start to think about adding some beets or beetroot to your life. Have the vitamin C, really important for helping to improve the function of the heart. Vitamin C is such an important nutrient for us as we come through menopause. If you need to take resveratrol and supplements, then do that. I'm not sponsored by any companies whatsoever, but I just, buy what I can, get the red grapes into you, and certainly, make sure that you're getting that 1200 milligrams of calcium into you. It is a mineral that we tend to forget about, but it is really, really important. And it's important too to get your vitamin or vitamin D levels checked, because if your vitamin D is low as you come from menopause to post-menopause, then what happens is that you may not absorb the calcium in your small intestine, because one of the main roles of vitamin D is to help improve calcium absorption. So if if you're worried about osteoporosis, sarcopenia, osteopenia, all those things that we are being focused on at the moment, then go and get your vitamin D levels checked and make sure you're getting 1200 milligrams of calcium a day, and make sure you are looking after your heart health.